Good morning. It's my pleasure today to talk to you about Stephen Ministry. If you're not familiar with it, I'm going to explain how it works. If you have a concern, something that you're going through in your life, whether it be a divorce, a loss of unemployment, a loss of employment, if it's a family situation, an illness, a surgery that you are concerned about, or just maybe a change in your everyday life that you're dealing with, all of the people that you saw up here today are Stephen ministers who have been trained, 60 hours of training. They are people who are committed to listen to people. And I emphasize listen, because that's the main thing. Listening to people and helping them in the sense that they're listening and that we are gently reminding them of the power of Christ. When we meet with people, it's us, but it's also Christ is in this meeting with these people. You meet with only one person. I know there are a lot of people up here, but you meet with only one person. And I would like to share an experience of my own. I have been a Stephen minister and a Stephen leader for a long time, but I have also been a care receiver, and I would like to tell you about that. I feel comfortable doing it because this is my family church, and I know them to be kind and understanding people, so I'm going ahead and I'm telling you this story because I want you to know what a change it can be and what a help it can be to have a Stephen minister. 3.5 years ago, late at night, unexpectedly, my much loved husband of almost 50 years died of a massive heart attack. It wasn't our plan. It wasn't our retirement plan whatsoever. And my son flew in from Michigan, and he came, and we were talking, and I guess he was observing. I wasn't observing much of anything, but he said, "Mom, isn't there somebody that you could go talk to?" Well, of course, I hadn't thought of that before. I am a Stephen minister. I believe in people talking. So I called up one of our Stephen ministers by the name of Kay Beverly. Many of you know her. And I went over to her house, and we talked for a very long time about the things you would talk about, your pain, your grief, your anxiety, what are you going to do, all of these things. But there was one thing that Kay said that I will always, always remember. It's fixed in my brain and it's in my heart. And what she said was, "Lorna, when you're crying, when you're in pain and grief, Jesus is right there with you." And I will never forget that. I left that day. I hadn't really, you just don't know how you're feeling, but I knew I felt better after having talked with a Stephen minister. I came home, went in the house. My son said, who's very, you know how men are, they don't really talk about these things too often, but he said, "Mom, I'm so glad you went." He said, "You look like you feel better, and the color is back in your face." So I knew that physiologically and in so many ways it had helped. So again, Stephen ministers are here to help you. It's confidential. It's something that we feel led to do, and We are going to be in the narthex in the back of the church, right after church. We would love to talk to all of you. And if anyone has a question or would like a Stephen minister or would like to know about becoming a Stephen minister, we would be happy to talk to you. Thank you, and bless you for listening so well. Thank you.